Howdy folks, and welcome to the shop. Today I will install a thermocouple and a digital reader. This is a project I've wanted to do for a long time, and I found a Type K kit cheap on Amazon, so I grabbed it and I've been sitting on it, and today's the day, so just putting things together. I don't know anything about this stuff really. I'm just going for it like usual. Um, and my motivation is that we're not getting top performance out of our gas forge, and there's a laundry list of reasons. A long story. I'm not really going to get into it, but we're monkeying with it and trying to work towards improved performance. And in the pursuit of that, I want numbers. So I'm rigging this thing up, and I don't know if it's good. Like I said, it was inexpensive, and it doesn't. I'm not an expert, but it doesn't seem like it's particularly high quality. But I just want to run it. I just want to put it together and see if it works. So that's mostly what I'm doing. It's a step. I think it's a step in the right direction. Building a enclosure for the probe just to give it a little protection and a little extra protection and stability. I oddly the thermocouple is more of sort of an ovular rather than a round shape. I drill a round hole. You'll see it fits, but it's not snug. So ultimately, I wind up having to shove a little piece of tile inside the enclosure to help the thermocouple stay centered in the tube. You can see it here when you look into the end. There's a little bit of tile in there to support the thermocouple in a centered position. And then I'm just arranging bricks around the back of the forge to try and close that opening as much as possible. Normally I have a couple big thick fire bricks on there, and they do a pretty good job. In order to Frankenstein this thing together, I'm using a bunch of weird little pieces that are not going to do as good a job. So I've run this now in hindsight, so I know that I am leaking a good bit of heat there, which is not ideal. But it moves me forward. It gets me the ability to test this thing. And here we've got the battery and the reader, and we've got the cable attached, so we're ready to run a little test, and we'll fire it up, and we'll see that it works, which is really all I wanted. I think there's probably some much more elegant solutions for a more permanent fit and perhaps better components to invest in for a permanent setup. But hey, this is the test, and ultimately I'm quite happy it worked out, and I got to play with this stuff and fit everything up and plug it in and get it to work, which is just the first step, just digging in and messing around. And I had a good time, and I'm happy with the outcome for an earlier intermediate step towards reliable data. Well, that'll do it for this one. Thanks for hanging, and take care.